And there it is. The big harsh lesson, the reality check, the loss. Not a good night tonight. Tonight was not our night by any means. It was the Dockers 14 goals, 13.97 to the Blues 9 goals, 8.62. Just did not work tonight. Don't know. A lot to get through, I guess. Welcome to the fan cams. Going to get a few of you on here. I'm going to put the link in the comments right now. If you would like to join and have your say, you're more than welcome to. Basically, hit the link. You'll come here in the waiting room and try and get through as many people as possible and just dissect that, whatever that was. So it was tough, disheartening. Very, very, very spot on there, Edwina. Pom.
Oh, hello.
G'day, mate.
Well, I mean, you know it's bad when my hair's all over the place. It's usually pristine recently.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair to the boys, I'll give them a shout out. They did the right thing in the first quarter. They slowed it down. We know that they're a tempo side. But a lot of questions about this when the pressure comes, and the pressure came quite early for the boys, and you could see they got lost. They got lost in that slowing down. They started to play.
All right, Pom, we're going to get you back in. One sec. Pom, we're going to work on your internet. I'll get you back.
You got headphones, boy?
Mick Maloney. Doesn't know that he's on.
Why do you need them?
Good start. Michael.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, mate.
I can't hear you that well, but I'll just say my piece and be done with it.
Sure.
That was shit. I'm being told where to go. That was insipid. Okay? Forward structure, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Our smalls were nowhere. I thought our midfield got absolutely towed up in the first 3 quarters, and then they decided to play in the first 15 minutes of the last. God, it was hard to watch. It's harder to be there, and they just drill you, these bastards. They drill you. After every goal, they drill you. Free. I'm ready. Woo. I'm composed. How was your night, Terry?
It was all right. It wasn't a good watch, but
you know the thing is as well. Like, do we start talking about like, is this like red flag type of stuff? Because it seems like we're getting done by the same type of way. I know it's only 2 losses, but we've had 4 really, really close matches that have really been the same. Okay, we're getting done structurally down the line. Yeah, we rely heavily on Pitternet. If our clearance game isn't on, we struggle. So I'm really starting to question that. And apart from that, we go all right. But we need to fix that part of the game.
Yeah. I think more things got exposed tonight that we need to work on, and they've been showing their head here and there, but tonight it was all on display.
I got to let you go because this is too much. There's Fremantle supporters everywhere. I love you much. Okay. Don't be too upset, everyone. Much love. Go the Blues, okay?
Go Blues. Love your work. Absolutely love your work. All right, let's get somebody who we know is absolutely home. Zach.
Mate,
what was that? What happened?
For me, I think we didn't have much of the ball, to be honest, at all, really. And when you have a midfield who's so good, you kind of need to get the ball in their hands for them to have an impact. But when we did have the ball and we went inside 50, we didn't lower the eyes again. And it's been a problem for pretty much as long as I can remember, where we're just not giving our forwards a chance at all to mark it. No matter how good they are, they can't mark if it's being bombed in the air. And, there's Freo defenders all around them surrounding in a big pack. They can't mark, pretty much.
Yeah, look, not clinical. Did not execute going inside 50 like what we've seen at times this year. And you're right, it has been popping up over the last few weeks. The first 2 weeks, I feel like we were really focused in on doing it. But tonight, Freo, I mean, fair play. They were just better. Yeah. Like, they were just better than us. They're not a bad side. They're a good side. And, we've had the wood over them for a while now. And we've had some traumatic wins for them in recent times. And, what do you do? Yeah. I just don't know. Do you think it's panic stations, or are you thinking this is still just part of the process?
Look, for me now, it probably has to be part of the process until I see a really bad blowout loss or a loss that we're just not in at all for any period of time.
Yeah.
I think just like the Gold Coast loss, you got to look at the week after. Okay, it's North Melbourne.
Yeah.
I don't care how much we win by. It's about how we play. That for me right now. Maybe later on in the Voss kind of era, it'll be how much we win by. But for now, it's just how we play. And if we're actually having control and, they're going to play our game instead of the other way around, which it kind of was for pretty much 90% of today, to be honest.
Yeah. We're going to see. We're going to unpack it. What was one of the other big issues for you tonight before I let you go?
Look, to be honest, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but Pito going down was really, really, really hurtful for us. I mean, you can just see his importance when he's out, and even for Freo as well, when Darcy kind of went out at the start of the fourth quarter, we started to actually get some of the center clearances, and that kind of propelled our little maybe 10, 15-minute kind of spell before they kind of sealed it with Switkowski and whatnot. But, it's unfortunate. TDK, I think, stepped up a bit today, to be honest, considering the fact that he got the boot pretty much to the VFL. So, that's good. At least it kind of plays on his mind that, if Pito's not going to be here, I don't want to be, an afterthought. I want to be here, and I want to cement my spot, regardless of who's the number one ruck in the coach's mind, to be honest.
No, it's well said. Very well said. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one.
You too. I think I've got the POM again. The POM.
Backstage.
What happened, mate?
I don't know. My computer was that sick of seeing that shite. It shit itself. It was tough, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Like, if you watch that game, as I was saying before, the internet started to die. If you look at how you play Fremantle, first quarter, the boys were good. They slowed it down. They did the right thing, and then they did what Carlton do under pressure, and we saw today what happens when you're under pressure. These guys lose total faith in what they're about. And I was screaming in the second half. Do you know what I mean? Play your way, impact. Yeah. And Carlton became reactive. They reacted to everything that Fremantle did, to the extent that the small forwards were playing 20, 30 metres behind the ball. Do you know what I mean? That was as poor as you can get. And it gave me shades of Port Adelaide last year, where the boys just started to go so far in their shells. They played the way that Port wanted, and they played the way tonight that Fremantle would have loved. A side that dominates in turnover in the midfield, Carlton gave them a training session.
It was fascinating because, like, the things that we look for week to week, generally with this group, those key performance indicators, like the clearances, we won that battle. The contested possessions, it was 128, 127 to Freo. So we're right there. Total disposals, we actually had more of the ball than them. So you look at that and you think, okay, but when you really look deep into it, losing Pito was a real game changer for the momentum of the game. And I don't want to blame it on Pito as to why we lost, but we lost. I don't know. It's just like everyone did their thing. All the good players did their thing, but we just didn't have that same energy and that same spark tonight.
Mate, the big difference is like when people say Pitternet was a big loss, he was. We still won clearances though. Your ruckman is a leading indicator of that. And the problem with Carlton there was from the second half, particularly onwards, that they were way too slow. They were way too slow. You saw way too many handballs down the back half, which we indicated last week on the Monday show, our third quarter. You really saw a side here that went in their shell. I saw Setfield continually handball. He's invented that loopy handball now as a statistical masterclass.
I remember my best mate, I don't know if he's watching, Nathan in the UK. We played football together for about 15 years. And I used to complain because he used to fancy my girlfriend at the time. And he used to give me balls that I used to say was trying to kill me so he could take her off my hands. And he'd play this horrible through ball so I'd get smashed. I've got a feeling that Setfield is after a few of the midfielders' wives. Because some of them handballs, mate, they're killing people. And if that's a big question mark for me under Voss tonight, because third quarter was a great argument for Voss just to throw caution to the wind. Just play the game and take the game on. And Carlton were reactive. And until Carlton lose their reactive side, they ain't going to challenge too much.
Yeah, true. I mean, we got quite a valuable lesson tonight, that's for sure. A valuable lesson. And I kind of love it. Because, like I said before, things have been popping their head here and there, but sometimes you need a loss to just uncover everything. So lick our wounds. We're, 4-2. We move on next week and, respond. That's what it's all about. Name of the game.
Well, I mean, this game on paper was a game that we said in the preview. Styles make fights. Carlton's strengths are Fremantle's weaknesses. Fremantle's strengths are Carlton's weakness.
Yep.
Tonight, we saw a side that has gone away and had a year's pre-season to lick their wounds and get better. Tonight, we saw Carlton at the start of their journey. Next week's going to be a big test because next week is the game that Carlton have to impose their will and have to bully. So if Voss is all about this physicality, this physical strength, next week, you're going to see it. The small forwards need to lay them tackles. The midfield need to take their medicine and do it the hard way. And if it's a PCL, we're going to be worried about Pitternet because TDK is going to have to step up.
Yeah, true. All right, mate. Great stuff tonight. Great stuff as always.
I love you all. Thank you to everyone who joined the watch along. You're all legends in my book, even the 301s who were giving me shit WA banter. I love you all.
See you, mate. All righty. Mark and Alex.
What's up, Tiz?
What's up, my boy?
Been better.
Well,
Been
my
worse.
brother's actually still here, but he's now pissed off.
What happened? What happened tonight?
Very simple. But they were better, more cleaner, and to their credit, basically had control from the second term. Normally, we tend to be very fast starters, but they noticed once they had that 3 to 4 goal buffer at halftime, obviously continued on. In our third quarter, third quarters we 0 and 6 losses of that, and
Correct. Have not won a third quarter all year.
And it shows. It shows. Normally, when we're off the blocks early, we tend to obviously give sides a bit of a sniff, but still hold the lead. But it's just as simple. They owned it tonight. I was happy for Chera, though. I was happy for Chera.
Yep. Alex, it was interesting to see the stats that we won, the ones that we usually like to look at with this group, the contest side of things. We seem to be okay in that area, but the actual execution of everything didn't seem to go away. What was it for you?
Oh, look, mate, our transition game's shocking at the moment. There's just no, I'll hold this at least a bit easier. I just think, our transition game's shocking. Our speed of ball movement tonight got really exposed. We were playing at real snail pace tonight, and when the pressure got going, we absolutely, shit ourselves, to be honest. Let's just put it like that. We just had no run, and then we resorted back to, kicking it inside the forward 50, just bombing it inside there, without actually, lowering the eyes, getting some people, working our forwards, getting them open leads, so we can find those little bit easier things. We're fine around the contest. As Pom said, we won the clearances, Cripps and Hewitt and Chera and, Walsh, they did what they needed to. I thought TDK stepped up tonight, which was really pleasing to see.
I actually thought Lewis Young had his best game.
I thought Lewis Young was quite good as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for us, when we're sort of relying on guys like Cottrell, Nunes, Boyd, even Setterfield, he's become a bit of a passenger. And, I'd argue even, or maybe not argue, tonight especially, Zach Fisher was a bit of a passenger tonight as well. I think the axe is going to get swung big time this week because, we lacked a bit there. Obviously, Pitternet going down, hurt us a lot. That's, a key pillar for us in winning the contest. And you saw, I think Zach said it before. I think you saw when, Darcy went down, we started getting our first hands on it, and we started looking really, really good. But, we just can't wait till the last quarter where we're down by, 5-6 goals to let that happen. So I think the axe is going to get swung this week. Hopefully we see, Jack back. Hopefully Pitternet's okay. Hopefully we get Kennedy back. Potentially, you bring the likes of Carroll or Motlop and guys like that in, and you just bring a bit of a spark back into the team. And, look, it's disappointing, but we're 4-2. We're still on a bit of a winning record. As you said before, you lick your wounds, you pick yourselves up, and next week will be a test again. We go for it again, and we try to, as Pom said, we try to impose our will next week against a much weaker opposition.
Still in the 8 for at least another week.
Here you go, Marky. I'll give that back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said, boys. Very well said. I think that's a good summary.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Wood. Yeah. I'm. You know me, Tez. I'm pretty optimistic more times
You
than
are
not.
level-headed, very level-headed.
Yeah.
I think
it's really disappointing, but we're still on a winning record. We just got to pick ourselves up next week, and I think all will start to be well again.
Yeah. Good on you, boys. Have a good one.
No worries.
Thanks,
Go Blues. We'll kill North next week.
Love it. Riley.
Tough watch, mate. Very tough watch.
Couldn't take it before half time. I could not take it.
No, it's all right. I don't blame you. I was steaming. I think what we saw tonight really on display was a side that was in year 3 of their overall coaching arc development in Fremantle compared to us, which is restarting that journey. And by that, they outside of Melbourne, I think they've got the best defensive system in football. You have to give them, before anything else, full credit tonight. I thought by and large they were outstanding.
Yeah.
They managed to neutralise at the contest. Now, Pitnet going down really hurt us. I think we neutralised the clearances, but I think we probably banked on having to win that tonight to have a genuine shot, and they got us the other way. And from that, we just looked quite disjointed after quarter time, which I thought early we actually started quite well, all things considered. But after quarter time, we looked pretty disjointed, I thought.
I was in La La Land because I watched the first half, kind of got to halftime and thought, look, we're fine. Nothing. Like I still had this inner belief. It wasn't until very late. I had read this game completely wrong. It wasn't until very late where I realized, hang on a minute, we haven't been here all night.
Yeah, no, it's you're absolutely right. And I think, we had some players that I thought really stood up in the heat of adversity tonight. I mean, Patrick Cripps I thought was outstanding. In fact, Cripps, Walsh, Terror, I thought they all did their role. And I don't know if anyone's mentioned it tonight, but boy, did we miss JSOS. My God, did we miss JSOS. And just that forward pressure and heat and marshalling in that forward line to a certain extent, because he just gives us some, I think just some spine generally up forward. The pressure after quarter time dropped right off. We laid 23 tackles in the first quarter, and then for the next 2.5 quarters, we laid 22. So it just dropped away. We got out of position, and I think Mark said it previously. I think there's going to be a few changes this week. There's a few blokes in there that I don't think we'll be seeing next week. We need to pull the trigger on certain ones. I think Jack Carroll's in line for a debut now after his performance today, and the lack of production that we got on the wings tonight and at times this year. It's almost like we got to give it a crack. He's one of a few for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. I think spots need to be valued very highly, and performances like these can't, they have to be punished in some way. You there? Okay, we've lost you. We have lost him. Liam.
Terry.
Mate, What happened?
Oh, look, it took us about 2.5 quarters to react to Pitnet going down. That's what I saw. I mean, I've heard heard people talking that we won clearances and everything. It didn't feel like that though, did it?
I totally understand what you mean. Yeah,
And so I think obviously he went down in the first half of the first quarter, and so you come in at quarter time. Voss gives the word. Pitnet's not going to be back. Like, this is going to be the structure, and it still took us another 2 quarters after that. That's not on Voss. That's on the players. Like the
There's something
midfield.
else.
You're right.
Yeah, there's something else I noticed too with that. I noticed that we had Lewis Young in the ruck late in the game. I actually didn't realize until he was in there that he's tall enough to play ruck. I mean, seeing Setterfield in the ruck at times was very interesting. I must say, I almost giggled. His
first ruck contest, he got a hit out to advantage.
He did, Will. He did. He did what he needed to do in that contest. But I guess Lewis Young was going so well down back. Maybe they didn't want to mess with his confidence. Then they moved him forward, took the mark. Then he went into the ruck. It was just not us tonight. It was not our night.
He was in the ruck a couple of times before he went forward, though.
Yeah.
I did notice that. But him going forward, like, and at the end of the day, it's good to see Voss making these changes, just trying something. Mm-hmm. If that was Bolton, if that was Teague, same 22, same positions, we lose by 9 goals. So it's good to see in terms of from the coaching box that something different was applied. It didn't work. It might have been too little, too late, whatever, or just not the right structural arrangement for us.
Mm.
But it was good to see that there was some form of change, because what we had in the second and the third wasn't working.
Yeah, spot on. It's so weird because there were so many individual performances that I'm pretty happy with. Like to see Charlie continue to put another building block into his return, to see Cripps play like that. He looked, at certain moments. I know we lost, so it doesn't really matter. But like he just looked super dominant.
And as I've said in previous Gold Coast fan camps, you learn more when you lose than what you do when you win.
Yeah, well, that's right.
The boys will learn from their shortcomings today. They'll know what their shortcomings are, but whether it's not how you fall, it's how you pick yourself back up. So so long as we come out in the next couple of weeks and play with the intensity, the aggression, and the skills and attributes that we can play with, tonight's loss isn't that big of a deal in the long run. Like, it's one.
The next few weeks will be important for us. I mean, we're just on the journey. We're riding the bumps and whatnot along the way, and I feel like this was one of the bumps. So
exactly, we're 6 matches or 5 because Voss missed a week. We're 6 matches into a new coach.
Yeah,
and with a new coach, you got a new game plan. Like the previous 2-3 years under T go out the window. The previous however many years under Bolton go out the window because that's not what Voss is trying to implement.
Yeah.
So look, 4-2. I don't think, I'm sure we all would have dreamed to have been there, but I don't think many of us saw it as a reality. So look, we'll take the positive win-loss and we'll move on to North next week, who obviously, as per the last few years, aren't in the best touch. Hope for a win there, and I think we've got Adelaide after that.
Yeah.
So look, big 2 weeks. Big 2 weeks.
Big 2 weeks. Well said, mate. I'll chat to you soon.
Right, mate. Enjoy.
See ya. Kareem.
Hey, mate. I'm really concerned, mate, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I'm really concerned. I've got a different view than everyone tonight, but what was that, mate?
I said, tell me, what are you concerned about?
I was on the fan cams in Gold Coast, and I said, when the midfield's not on, shit hits the fan. The midfield was on tonight, but it wasn't dominating like the last couple of weeks. And you could see that Freo had more shift to their game plan. We're fast just down the line, hoping for like a fucking specky, mate. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the game plan. I don't know.
we touched on it earlier, and because the first few weeks, one of the big differences that we were noticing, number one, the intensity and all of that, but number two was the way we would lower our eyes going inside 50. That seems to have really withered away over the last month. Like we don't do it as much anymore. We're really going back to we're going for those long entries and trying to get them deep at the top of the square, which, look, in theory, I get it. You got big boys there, you back your small forwards, but I feel like the best teams in the league, like when they really reach their peak and they start contending for finals and prelims and grannies, it's when they start lowering their eyes and finding a lead. We're going away from that a little bit, it seems.
Yeah, like I think we just have too many dumb footballers. We got the talent, but we just got too many dumb footballers, I reckon.
We got some guys that didn't really play. We had a lot of passengers tonight. We had some guys that really didn't play well. They were poor tonight. But you just hope that you take it in their stride, and it's part of their careers. They have bad games, they have good games, and you try and hope that they have more good games than bad. Tonight was not good for quite a few of them.
Yeah, with Voss, what's with his love of Jordan Boyd?
Sorry,
I don't know why he's always on it. With can you hear me, mate?
Yeah.
With Jordan Boyd, what's with Voss? Like, why does Voss love Jordan Boyd so much? I don't see anything that proves that he's in a 22, even medical sub. We got 3 halfbackers already. Why are we having him as a medical sub?
Mate, it's a good question, and I thought about it. Even though Paddy Dow, maybe in whatever form he's in, and it might not be quite good enough for the selectors just yet, I was thinking, who do I want as the medi sub in that situation tonight? Don't know. I mean, they obviously do see something with Boyd that we don't get to see because we only get to watch games. But at the end of the day, like, you're only really judged on your games, aren't you? You're not really you shouldn't be judged too much on how you're training. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one.
If he keeps playing like that, mate, like, fuck me, I don't see him in the Carlton jersey again. The way he played tonight was just fucking cool. But there was a lot of passengers tonight, not just him. I will say that. There's a lot of passengers tonight.
I think he's very early in his experience in the AFL. So it's not just about his performance. But, I don't know. I thought again, weird night. Not a good night for us. So
next 2 weeks we'll see. We should win both games, hopefully. But next 2 weeks I'll come back and judge us by then, I reckon.
Yeah. Well said, man. Love it. Josh.
Terry.
Hey, mate.
That was a tough one. It stings. I think our small forwards weren't lively around the ball as we needed them to be. Like at the back, like every entry inside 50, it would always be a bomb, right? Never kicking to space. And our small forwards were practically non-existent, I thought. I'd like to see Motlop get a go, I think. I'd really like to see him get a go.
Yeah, there's a discussion that's going to rear its head this week around should we be looking to play Motlop and Carroll and bring in some fresh debutante energy, get them in, see if they can give us a bit of a spark. I'm just not panicking just yet. It was just a poor game. It was an away game to Freo, who are good. Like, they're not a bad team, especially at home. So,
we got to give them that respect.
Got to give them that respect. But having said that, I still don't like the fact that we never really made a game of it, did we?
No,
it wasn't
not
really. It wasn't close. It was a significant Freo win.
Yeah, it just felt like, I don't know. I've noticed a lot, like our handballs, we handball way too much. I've noticed, like, especially in the center, we should be like kicking to space as well, I feel like there's just no pressure. I don't want to blame individuals as well, because I think that was just a poor team performance in general. Like when Cripps kicked a few, he kicked 3 goals, and I think that big snap, that was a big uplifting moment, but no one seemed to really lift. It was. I just was really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Listen, Cripps was dynamite tonight. He did.
Oh yeah.
He did everything he could to drag us up, and for whatever reason, it wasn't enough. So.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Stocker come back too. I'm not too sure about Parks. I'm not too sure about Setterfield. I'm going into individuals. I don't want to do that. It was a bad team performance, but I would like to see Stocker come back because he does bring that a bit of grit. And I thought, JSOS, Pito, like Pito's been so good for us, and I thought that injury, like Lob, what's his name? Their ruckman. He wasn't even looking at the ball during that play. He was literally looking at Pito. I was a bit. I don't know if you noticed that or.
I didn't. I'm going to have a look at it again.
Have a look at that. He was looking at Pito, not even at the ball. But yeah.
That's a bad loss for us. It doesn't look good.
We'll come back. I'm sure we'll be all right. You know what? New coach.
We'll be all right.
We're 4-2. No one expected us to be 4-2.
Correct. We will bounce back. No doubt. Well said, mate.
No worries, Tez. Have a good one.
You too. Ugo with the $31 donation. He says, we had 5 players with 30-plus possessions. The midfield did their job. Forward line dysfunctional. Small forwards and wingers need to be replaced. Thank you, Ugo. I've got Ari with me. Yo.
What's up? Before you start, I've got a joke for you.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Oof. Who's there?
We
who?
We suck shit without Mark Pitternet.
Oh, wow.
Not as good as yours, but I mean.
No, it was good. It was good. We are now learning the value of Mark Pitternet, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are learning the value of him really quickly. Even Jack Silvani, it's just we did not have it tonight, whatever it was that we had in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's carbon copy of the Gold Coast loss for me. Midfield couldn't get on top, and it just nothing else came from it. But it's happened twice now, so now it's on Voss and it's on the coaches to make the change. If it happens once, you're like, all right, it can happen to any team. It's happened twice now. So yeah, it's. I mean, I'm trying not to be too downbeat. I'm trying to be positive because there were some good signs. Cripper stood up. Like win or loss, seeing your captain step up like that is tick, right?
Agreed. Those are the moments that he wasn't taking last year, and he's clearly a better player and a better captain and a better leader on the field this year.
Yeah. Just systematically it was poor. Like I don't want to dig out individuals because I thought no one played exceptionally well. I know Walsh had a lot of the ball, but he wasn't as damaging as he can be. Waitering was good. Young was good. I thought the defense, like the individuals, like the matchups, did pretty well. I know Lob kicked 3, but I thought Young did some good things. Waitering was solid as well. It was just little lapses here and there. Players being free. I mean, Lockie Schultz, you said it with the preview with Ricciusi.
Schultz or Switkowski. It had to be. It had to be one of them. It's every week. One of these small forwards, they get us every week.
Yeah, so it was just little things like that. Forward structure needs work. Yeah, because it seems like Cripps was our only player that had space inside 50. Took 2 good marks, kicked 2 goals from him. I just feel like if we bounce back and win comfortably against North, which we should, then there's something like not a light bulb moment has happened, but there's change. Like there is something because we haven't won convincingly yet. So if we come out next week and win convincingly, then the switch has been flicked, hopefully. But no red flags for me just yet.
I'm with you on that.
I could come back in 2 weeks and say something different.
Mate, we have seen far worse losses than that in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So
I think
it really just comes down to that.
It's another speed bump, but we'll get there eventually. So
onwards and upwards.
6 games into a new coach. We're not going to win every game, right? So, I think on selection as well. There's, like I said, I didn't want to dig out individuals, but if Voss swung the axe against Gold Coast, I want the same consistency. I want the selection integrity to be on point. I want, if it's one disappointing loss where the 6 players get omitted, I want the same after this one. Who those 6 players are, I'm pretty sure we have a good idea of who they might be. But I think that's for us to ponder and for the selection committee to decide, I guess.
Well said, mate.
All right. Well, are you aware of your Arsenal result so far?
I know that we're up 2-1, so.
Oh, it's 3-1 now.
All right. We will talk Arsenal in good time. Have a good one, brother.
Yeah, you too, mate. See ya.
All right. I've got Ryan.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on. Just to say I love your work, Terry. But yeah, another slap in the face tonight. Bit of a reality check. Yeah. What do you want to say, Go?
I just want to say, like, I think it's, I want to say classic Carlton, but it's just the standard thing. Do you know what I mean? It's never as good as it seems, and there's always just that slap in the face that's coming, and you kind of knew it was coming tonight. I think because straight from the second quarter-ish, we never really looked like we were going to bring it to them. I think it was just we looked a bit.
Let him have it. Let him have it. Love it. Let him have it. All right. Tyler.
Hey, Terry. How you going, mate?
Mate, been better, but have also been worse.
That is so true. I'm pretty content with tonight. Let it go. We were just outplayed, simply. That's all it was. And I actually, after last week with Port, I ended up going and actually watching the Freo Essendon match. I rewatched it, and I just went, if they do that, they're going to absolutely murder us. And that's unfortunately just what they did. It was a reality check. And I think the biggest problem with us was, I get it, we took the speed out of it in the first quarter, but it's more from, if we're going from defense to attack, that's when you should be speeding up the play. But we were just so slow bringing it up, and it reminded us of a lot of Bolton, and more like Bolton, how we were more slow, always a slow build up.
Yeah, I guess so. We were lacking that spark, that energy, the run and carry. Freo's pressure didn't allow us to do that. They locked it up.
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, look, they're good. I'll give them that. We're
They
going to
were
play them
brilliant.
again. We're going to see them again later in the year, I believe, in Melbourne.
Yes, we are. Yep.
And, we'll go again, and we'll play them on our home deck and see if they can bring that again.
100%. And see, and most people have already said it tonight. Axe needs to happen, but boys played really well in the reserves today. I was absolutely rapt for their game, but I just think Cripps, absolute champion. What a match! What an absolute game from him. Chera played extremely well, considering it's his first. It's against his home side, but I feel like losing Pitto, big killer again, and it's happened before. So I just don't know who we pick now. Honestly, it's just too hard to pick now. You can't pick. You either pick Murkov, who is still learning. DeConning played well, but after that, we don't really have any tall timber anymore for the ruck. So, and it really exposed us just a bit. But oh well, you take them as they come, mate. Honestly, next
Very
week
true.
we should absolutely kill North Melbourne. If we don't see it, then I reckon we'll win next week. But if we don't see some sort of fire, then there's something going on there. There's something's wrong.
We will wait and see, my man. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Terry.
You too, mate. Benny.
Terry, 7, buddy.
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Up and down, buddy. But what do you do, mate? It's a typical old night, man. Blue baggers, you don't know what to expect. But
just a dirty night for the baggers tonight, wasn't it? Just a dirty old night.
What do you do, mate? As I said, I don't know what his transition was. It's just the Fremantle just had too much space with the ball. I don't know whether it's just pressuring wise. We went man on man. It's just we're nowhere near them. They just had all the time and space in the world.
Yeah, they had all the answers for us. I mean, we asked the question kind of at times, and when we had our passages of play in our favour, we just couldn't hit the scoreboard cleanly. Freo kicked some of the most incredible goals tonight. Some of them,
they won on the boundary. Jesus.
You know when you watch some of those games and certain things happen, the ball bounces one team's way, they kick certain goals, and you're just thinking it's just their night. I almost got the sense of, when we used to play the Bulldogs in like 2019 and 2020, we beat them well, even though we were not a good team. It kind of reminded me of that. And Freo were doing that to us. They just had all the right things go their way. So, but in the end, they deserved it. They worked harder. They played harder for longer. And
no, full credit to them, mate. They're a quality side, mate, and they're playing very, very well this season. And who knows? Hopefully, we can match them up again next time we play them. Put a different performance in.
Yeah. No,
hey, Terry, I was going to ask you. With the ruck stocks, maybe we can play Markov yet. I don't know if he's ready or not. Give him a crack, because I know Tom's a bit too skinny at the moment and he's doing his job. But maybe try something different.
With Tom, because when I watch Sam De Koning, for example, I think I watch him. You can see it's kind of there. He just needs games. I feel like that's where we're at with Tom. It also depends on who we're playing. Like next week, they've got Sherry that plays in the ruck, which I think is a better matchup for Tom than a Darcy or like what we had last week. So I just think we need to persist with Tom personally. This is the guy we want to move forward, and all of a sudden he gets valuable opportunities to play out a full game, and we may just need to ride the bumps with Tom. It might just need to be that. I don't know. I actually don't know what the answer is. I guess
no. The talent's there, mate. The talent's there. The kid's going to be a star. You just got to put a bit of muscle on him. I think he's just got outworked against wits, and the talent's there. No, we can't argue that.
True. So,
all right, Terry. I'm gonna go for a dart, mate. And I'll catch you later.
You go have a dart, mate. Enjoy.
See ya,
mate. Rocco. Rocco's not there. Toby.
G'day, Tez. How are you, man?
Mate, been better, but been worse.
So it's been a while since I've been on. I apologize. But the reason why I want to come on tonight is because I've had a bit of a sad week this week. My mum has come down with COVID. So I'm a close contact. But it's been a while, and I thought I'll try it on my mobile. So it's upsetting to lose tonight. But we're playing good footy at times, but we just look a little bit scratchy, and we need to fix some things. So I want to grab your thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree?
No, I'm with you. I think we were beaten by a better side on the night. I think we've got some shortcomings that have started to pop their head in some of the games over the last few weeks. And tonight they were exposed for what they were. And I think we've got to go back to the drawing board and respond. And I think this is just one of the bumps along the way in the journey of the group.
Oh, I agree. I think that, we're seeing positive signs this season under Voss. And I'm very happy. I reckon he's the best bloke for the job. But we just need to, I was in Pom's watch along tonight. So hi, Pom, if you're watching. Thanks for letting me be your time person and let you know how long in a quarter tonight, Pom. I just think, we need to stay positive as Carlton fans. Look, we're going to get some of these games. We'll have losses, but let's stay positive. And we'll bounce back next week. I really believe that.
Love it. Love it, Toby. Love what you bring. You have a good night, and thanks for joining.
I will. Love to see you, Matt. Keep up the good work.
See ya. All right. Jad.
Hey, mate.
Mate, give us a smile. Come on.
Nah.
Come on,
No
mate.
smile today.
What's going
Only because I
on?
like you. Only because I love you.
What happened?
Mate, there's red flags everywhere, Tez. I'm not going overboard. I'm still very happy with the season and the winning record, but you can't ignore the red flags. It's okay to say, oh, it's a bump in the road, it's this and that. You got to really look at it and understand why it's happening, because now it's a trend. Markers up footy got exposed disgracefully today. Like I couldn't believe what I was watching. It's like when we're trying to transition, goal square, short kick to back pocket, long down the line, rinse and repeat. I didn't see anyone try anything different. And that's what was just doing my head in. It's the lack of a plan B. Now, we're thinking, okay, Voss, he wants to get the contest side right and all that, but I don't really believe that. But is he really telling them? Does he really not have an instruction for transition footy? Like, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they're just sitting there saying, oh, we'll get the contest right, we'll worry about everything else later in the year. There is question marks on Voss and the whole group, the whole coaching panel for me. There's no free games for me this year. Like, why haven't we seen anything in terms of transition? You cannot play markers up footy in this league. That's literally, today it was markers up, mate. Just
do you think that? Don't you think that we were playing transition? I think we were playing transition footy pretty well last year, but the contest wasn't right. We've almost flipped that now, and they've had some commentary around these things, and they've had some commentary that I've listened to and read about having to you have to work on one thing at a time. Unfortunately, the dirty little word about this is the patience that we need under this new regime. That's the dirty little word. It's the truth. And the hope is that we bank wins while we learn. Tonight just wasn't one of those nights. I don't know. I'm just not panicking, man. Like, I've seen worse. I really have seen worse from this group. I've seen losses where it's like, oh my God, where are we going as a football club and an organization? I didn't feel that tonight. I felt like we just lost. And I guess if it becomes 2 in a row, 3 in a row, then maybe I'll think, all right, shit. But we haven't had that yet.
Well, look, for me, mate, it is red flags and panic, but not in the way that I've reacted to losses in the past. Like, obviously, we're in a much better spot. But Fremantle, I don't think they're that much better than us. I just don't think that. I think, okay, they've had Longmuir, a couple of years now. We've had Voss 6 months. There's that. Okay, so I'll give them that. But I just don't think that they should be that far ahead of us. And for me, everything's just compounding now, okay? So the wins we've had, like, let's be honest, the 2 great wins, I thought, were Richmond and Dogs. And then we kind of just fell over the line against far lesser opponents. So now it's just compounding. It's like, okay, we can't move the ball against poor teams. We can't move the ball against Freo. It just seems to be route one markers up football every week. It's just compounding now. And I'm very concerned because in my mind right now, it's us and Freo for those last 2 spots in the 8. Well, maybe now that Freo are second, they're 5-1. I think they'll drop down a bit once they verse better sides. And it's between us and them. And if that's the gap, I don't see it. By now, 5 weeks in, I have wanted to see more. I want to see more than just a contested style. And I'm just not seeing it. And then you go into selection.
What did you want to see after 6 rounds? What was the overall thing you wanted to see after 6 rounds before the season started?
I wanted to see signs of what Freo have. A cohesive, organised system. Doesn't have to be as good as what Freo have, because Longmuir has had 2 years now to get that settled. But I just want to see some signs of it. Today there was nothing, and last week there was nothing.
Overall,
we're great out of the contest. Sorry?
Overall, in 6 rounds. Overall,
yeah. I wanted to see just signs of assist. What? Sorry,
I'm saying, have you seen that overall? Not just tonight and last week. Have you seen what you wanted to see overall? Have you seen signs of an improved system in all of the 6 weeks?
Contest-wise, yes. Defensively, no. I just haven't seen it defensively. It seems too reliant on individuals still. Seems very reliant on that. I just don't see it yet. I'm not saying it's not going to come, but certainly not seeing it. And I would have wanted to see more of just a contested uptick by now. So there's question marks for me. But 100% faith we're going to get there. But just right now, I'm a bit disappointed.
How do you judge the balance between having to make a selection call and dropping a player and then backing him in by keeping them in the side?
Are you talking? Who are you talking about?
Well, let's just throw out any of these names that have played. Like let's say Cottrell, for example.
Okay.
You know, what's your limit before you say no? You have to be moving down. We've got to be bringing in someone else and moving in a different direction with a different player. Because I don't think it's like it was in the past, but I do think we need to make changes this week.
I think today is. I was on Twitter and I was getting really upset, but I think today, in my mind, it would be the end for Cottrell and Nunes, because I don't see the point. If this is where we are as a team, I do not see the point in wasting time on these players when we've got a young kid in there who has actual weapons and Lockie O'Brien. If I would just rather persist with him, give him a chance to fail and give him a chance to shine. But playing these guys over him, I do not see what it is serving. Okay, they may offer a little bit more contested grunt, but their wingers, that's not what I'm looking for. I would rather have the kid who has weapons and who can actually improve one of our biggest deficiencies, which is ball use, than have these list cloggers. Honestly, that's what I think.
No, that's fair.
And I think tonight should be it. I think that should be it. Honestly, I'd like to see Carroll getting a bit more filtered in there. I'd like to see Stocker get a bit more. Just start filtering them through now, because as you said before, you touched on a very, I think, a significant point. The energy that they will bring. I think they will balance out the energy, because I think like some of these guys like Nunes, Cottrell, Boyd, it's just, I think the train's come and it's gone for them. And I think that energy is showing. It's really stagnant. It's negative. It's let's just try and survive. I think it's time now.
I like that. I like it. Bro, love your work. Great stuff.
No worries, mate. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. I got Kano and I've got Rocco. Kano.
How you going, Too? How you going?
Good, mate. You?
Not too bad. Massive loss, but I mean, on to next week. North Melbourne and Adelaide the week after. Yeah. What can I really say?
Yeah, it's one of those nights. You wait a couple. You're from Perth, so obviously you wait for the boys to come up and play hopefully one game. But in this year, it's going to be two. So wasn't a good night for you to be there, obviously.
Yeah. I just think like everyone's been saying like Pitnet is definitely one of our most important players, and tonight really showed that too. Like in our two losses, Pitnet is shown that he's one of our best and important players.
Yeah, agreed. Kano, I can't really see you, mate. I think you're in a tunnel or something. I might.
We're in the car, so that's probably why. But yeah. Also, Jackson Wayne needs another loss as well, because he is not good. He's been doing pretty good in the ruck as well this year, so he's not a loss in the ruck.
Yeah. Good on you, mate. Thanks for joining.
Nice.
Rocco.
Hey, how are you, bro? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. What's happening?
Oh, good. How do you feel? Come on, everyone's been like.
Listen, I'm not panicking. It's a loss. It's not good. It's this, it's that. But we're gonna cop these along the way, and I think this is one of them. That's honestly what I feel like. I'm kind of just not panicking by it. I don't think there's red alert, pull the lever, break the glass, emergency. I just don't feel that personally.
Yeah, no, definitely. We can't. I mean, it's too early in the whole rebuild. It's too early in the season. You can't just panic all of a sudden. But I like what Jad said was there's some red flags there you got to be real careful of that we don't let it slip away. I said this last week. Our bottom 6 players are just dreadful, mate. Seriously. We're not going to get nowhere with those bottom 6 players. And, it's going to take time. We've got some players in the reserves maybe going to come in, maybe we'll pick up a couple of players. You know what I mean? It's going to be a slow build, this, I understand. But really, if you're playing people like Cottrell, everyone was going there last week. Cottrell, he played a good second half. But if you look, he was lazy in the second half, and then he proved it again today. He didn't have a great. The problem I see with our side is that we've gained some really good players in Chera and Lewis. In Hewitt. Thought Lewis was good today. Definitely Curno's come back, and Piternet's kind of taken that next step. So we've kind of got better, right? Which is good, right? And so we're always going to be a little bit better this year. But the rest of it hasn't changed. Nooms, like what the fuck are we playing Nooms for? We've got no wings. We got no wings at all. We definitely need. I don't know what we're going to do there. Like I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to play these players, and we'll see if someone can come up. You know what I mean? But we're going to have to be looking for someone. I know I don't want to be talking about off season, but you're definitely going to have to looking for someone. We're going to need another big defender. You know what I mean? And I noticed that we're almost not quite, but flat track bullies in a way. When things are going well, everybody looks good. But when things are going hard, I'm telling you, mate, who's doing the work apart from Cribs has stepped up this year? Fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
Like I've questioned his leadership for years. You know me. I've questioned it. But this year, absolutely magnificent. I'm telling you, he is the leader I've always wanted. Walsh does his work, Hewitt and Chera were good, and then you got Doc and you've got, I think Sard's had a good year. So them 2 leaders in the back are taking care of stuff, Who else? And then you say, how many leaders do you need? But you can't expect them to do 4 quarters. See, at the time, like Walsh started really well. And then, he had a lot of possessions, but I didn't think he had a massive impact at the end. Last quarter was good. He was trying to get the ball and that. But why isn't Cottrell stepping up now? He's done nothing the whole game. You know why? Because he's not up to it. He's not up to it. Nooms isn't up to it. These players aren't up to it. Am I panicking? No, but I think we're further than what we thought we were. In a way, I don't know. Maybe it's just the emotions of the game. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, look. At the end of the day, we're probably 2 to 3 weeks away from seeing some new guys come in that we've been waiting for, like Stocker and maybe Jack Carroll and Honey will come in over the next month. These are the guys that we want to be blooding, and they've just not been available because they've been injured. And I do get what you're saying. Nothing against some of these players like Cottrell and Nunes, but I feel like they're kind of just holding the space for when the others are ready. Yeah, like they're just part of the list. They have a
part of the list at the moment, but we haven't got anyone else. That's why we keep changing these players. We've got nobody else to put in. Like like O'Brien started well this year, but now apparently he had a terrible game in the reserves, right? And he can't get the ball. Is he just lazy? Like, is it when things are going well and then he does 1 or 2 things and everyone jumps about and goes, yeah, look how good he was. Yeah, he was decent. I think we're anyway, I don't know, man. Like, it was pretty terrible today. And last week was terrible too, if you think about it. I mean, apart from that
from halftime last week, it has not been good.
It hasn't been good. And then even the GWS was terrible. And then the Hawthorn game for 2.5 quarters was terrible. It just seems like when we have to get down and dirty and work hard. Look, there was, at times I noticed a lot of jogging. There was no spreading. Like Fremantle did that beautifully. The way they defended was perfect, right? The way they defended was perfect, but we didn't work hard enough to break that.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we changed. We know, like we went to the other side once. Well, why are we going back? Because they're just too lazy to go back. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's what it seemed to me. And then before the game, like they were the second best defense. They're keeping teams down to about 60 odd points. What did we score? You know, we're one of the worst defenses. We're making teams score 80 plus. What did they score? Like, it was already written down what was about to happen. So what did we do about it? We did nothing about it. I don't think we changed anything about our game plan. The way we were structuring around the ball, did you notice? They were always getting the ball on the outside. Did you notice that? We get sucked in and they were getting the ball on the outside. We weren't doing that at the start. I don't know. I think that when we're under pressure, we just don't know what to do. I don't know if that's experience or time. I don't know.
Has to be. I think it has to be time.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping. It's experience and time. But definitely, like, the top end is lifted. But if you look at the good sides, the bottom end is always good. And I'm telling you, I believe our bottom six could be six of the worst.
It's funny because I think the big thing, I remember us on the fan cams that we were talking about in round one was how good our bottom six players were. Those same five or six players tonight were, you're right, they weren't good. They weren't good. But
they weren't. And we need them to lift at times because, as I said, we can't ask Cribbs and Walsh. And then you notice Cribbs at the end, like he started trying to do a little bit too much because he's trying to take it on, you know. When we played our best is when the others took more responsibility, you know what I mean? And it seemed like even Fisher's had actually a not bad year, so I can't really bag him too much. But tonight, my God, just lazy. No, it wasn't a good. I think he's going to look at that game and even Martin at times, man. I'm telling you, that bloke there he gives me Arjador, that bloke, mate, because he looks so good when he's good, but he just is missing. He's so lazy when he's not, you know. I keep using that word lazy. I think at the moment we have got some lazy players in there, you know, just lazy players not wanting to get down and dirty.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to come on, but I needed to because I have to feel better because I got depressed tonight, man. It's bloody bad.
Yeah, you just got to say, you just got to let it out sometimes. It's, I think.
Look, I've got hope for next week, you know. So.
Yeah, well, someone came on earlier. I think it was Jad, and he said, and I think he's right. We'll know a lot more about what tonight means next week. And you know, unfortunately, 100%. We're just not a team that can really control the season. Like the Saints have won 5 in a row. I look forward to a time when we win 5 in a row. I think we're going to be a back and forth week to week team, and hopefully we have more of those 2 wins in a row.
We're very early in the rebuild, very early. Look, we're all jumping about, and I mean, I'm a little bit to blame for that too, you know, or I'm a bit a part of that, you know, because you want to get excited, you know, but we're very early, man. We're into the first part of it, really. Like you look at Fremantle, it's been a couple of years. The Saints have been a few years. You know what I mean? All those teams that are kind of elevating, it's been a few years, man. It's going to take some time for us to rebuild. But in the meantime, coaches, everybody, man, don't not look at what's going bad at the moment because we don't want it to get away from us where it gets too far. I'm just worried that we're just lapsing. All right, we're going to get these losses, but let's fix them. Man, I'm telling you, like when we play our best, we tackle hard, we run hard, you know, we do those little 1%, you know what I mean? And I don't think we were. I mean, I never say that the players try, but just didn't work tonight. It didn't work tonight. Let's hope, man. Next week, North Melbourne, far out, man. I'm telling you, Voss could be looking for a new job the week after the way we treat our bloody coaches and that. So we've got to be careful next week. So.
Well, we lost to North Melbourne last year, so let's not pretend like we're gonna. We need to respect them. Otherwise, they're going to beat us like they beat us last time when we thought we would walk into Marvel and smash them.
Like we go in and say, "Oh, we should," because I heard a few comments saying, "Oh, we should beat the next 2 weeks." Right. First of all, we've got North and Adelaide, correct? North and Adelaide. Adelaide won again today, mate. They're no easy beats, right? Now we're going, oh, we should beat North. What do you think North are saying in the change rooms about us? We can beat this mob, mate. You know what was funny about the coach last week? Who did we play last week? Port Adelaide. You know what he said in his press conference, their coach? He goes, we knew that in the second half we could get them. Right, we knew that they always play a different second half to a first half, correct? So they're talking. They know, mate. They know where we're at. So, we're going, oh, we should beat that. We should. And the other teams are saying exactly the same thing about us. We can get them. We can get them. And if we don't start showing,
that's where we're at. That's where we're at. We haven't proven that yet.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. I'm going to let you go.
We have.
You there?
All right, cool. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Right. Yep.
Can you hear me?
We're losing you. Rocco, love you.
All right.
Have a good night.
We'll see you Tuesday.
Done. All right. I've just invited Druzy. He wants to come on and have a chat. But if he doesn't come on soon enough. Anyway, we'll miss him. Guys, that was it. There's the fan cams for round 6. Not a good performance. Not a good performance. Got to respond next week. And I think some of these situations will pop up from time to time with this year, with this group. I do think that. I think especially when we lose certain key pillars of our team throughout games, Jack Silvani and seasons, Jack Silvani, Pitternet, that they are important to what we do. And we've got to be able to respond from that. But it is what it is. It was what it was. And we're going to bounce back next week and do it all over again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a good night, even though it was a loss. And we'll get the reviews and the player ratings out tomorrow and go from there. Oh, saved by the bell. The time literally was about to press end broadcast.
Oh, well, you're lucky you didn't, mate.
Go on. Enjoy.
Terry, I changed my tip to Carlton last night.
Why?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you because we're clearly a better side, mate. Now, how are you feeling? What was that like from a Carlton perspective?
Mate, listen, I literally just summed up just before you came on. I said, we're going to have games like this along the way. It happens. We're in the thick of it. We're in the hunt of it. We're going to lose to teams on certain nights when we're not at our best. And tonight was one of those nights. Like, it's just one of those things. Freo were good at home, tough team. I don't think you were doing that when we play you again in Melbourne this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Pitney out was massive. Hey,
yeah.
We spoke about how you're mid sort of fight fire with fire on the preview.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Pitney goes down, Sean Darcy starts to get a bit more first use. Like, you guys won the clearances, but yeah, sort of when the ball's in general play, you sort of find it hard to control games at times.
I think so.
But yeah, bloody Schultz toys up, like you said, a small forward would get out on top and give the Carlton boys a bath.
How do you feel now? You're a Freo fan. You've started very well. You must be pretty happy with what's going on in your situation.
Yeah, no, very happy. Well, considering our wins had come against Essendon, GWS haven't looked too flash, Adelaide, bit of a bottom dweller in recent times, and West Coast, who are the worst team in the AFL, which is another good point of why I'm very happy today. Like, this game against Carlton was like a real measuring stick sort of game. So for us to show up, give a pretty decent 4-quarter effort, kick the ball straight. We took our chances. Like I was saying on the preview, we need to take our chances, and we did. 4-quarter effort, didn't shy away. I thought at the start of the fourth quarter we were a bit flat. And I thought you guys could sort of come into it. Paddy Cripps was putting the team on the back. Like he was so good to watch in person. Same as Wiedering down back. He is, oh man, he's gonna be one of the best defenders in the comp one day. 1-on-1. I don't think he lost the contest all day. But yeah, for the Freo boys, second on the ladder. Percentage is looking good. Got Geelong next week, so that'll be another big test to see where we're at. But yeah, good day of footy considering West Coast got pumped and we won. And Cheryl lost. Another positive.
I think no. Listen, you brought to my attention this week. You really brought to my attention this week the trauma of what playing against Carlton has been like. And listen, Joe, Joseph, Adamo, and that Almost Blues Brothers account, they put the fucking jinx on us. They uploaded the best of all week, and I'm like, Joe, you don't do that. That's just against social media rules. But anyway, it was weird because like you and I did the preview this week, and I'm watching and we're losing. I'm like, yeah, but what about for Druzy? You turned me into a Freo fan a little bit this week, mate.
Yes, mate. You can hop on the bandwagon anytime you like.
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought it was one of the highlights of the game was when Cherry got done holding the ball right in front of me. Walters wrapped him up. Yeah, he didn't get a very nice reception at Optus, but it's good to see that he made the wrong decision by joining Carlton because Freo are on top, Terry. Come on.
Enjoy it, mate. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it. All the best for the rest of the season. I'm sure you'll bounce back. You're a good side.
We'll see you again.
Up the Dokers.
See you, mate. We will definitely see the Dokers again. That's for sure. All right, ladies and gents, have a good night. Go the Mighty Blues. See you tomorrow.